All right. Well, hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Tech Tip Tuesday. My name is Ken Close. Here we are, dang, rounding the center of March almost
Can you believe
already.
that? It was just the end of February.
I
A few
can't
months.
believe we're already coming up on the center of March, but that's okay. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm ready for spring. How about you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, my name is Ken, like I said, and I'm a Healy World member, like most of you guys joining us tonight. And I'm an engineer, been with Healy for quite some time. Love the tech, and we tend to dive deep into that kind of thing here on Tech Tip Tuesday. And I am joined by my awesome co-host Jake Barron from Head of Operations in Orlando, Florida. How you doing, Jake?
Hey, Ken. Good evening, everyone. Great to be here.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. And we've got Christian in the background, right? In the lightning
Yeah.
fingers.
Actually, we have. Let me talk about this for just a little bit here. You'll see that we got two people from our tech support team here. We have Christian, who you all know and love, has been on many Tech Tip Tuesdays, helping out in the chat. And tonight we also have Emmanuel helping out in the chat too. Emmanuel is not new to Healy, but he's new to Tech Tip Tuesday. He's been with Healy for over a year now. Started in the customer care team, moved over to tech support, and kind of handles some of each right now. And he's kind of checking things out here to see what exactly we do here on Tech Tip Tuesday. And I believe you'll see him solo on one in the coming months as well, helping out here in the chat. But I, it's for me, Tech Tip Tuesday isn't always convenient time. It's 8 p.m. here on the East Coast for us here. For those of us with families or whatever, but we try to make it a point every week to be here. Whether it's Christian helping out in the chat, or Emmanuel, or Henry, who is now in the onboarding position as well, or Dom Me. And then we also have Alexandria and Miguel leading the tech support team, sort of behind the scenes. Also, the fact that everyone really contributes to what we're doing here, which is awesome as well. And of course, Ken, you and I, if we ever have to cancel a Tech Tip Tuesday, it's not because, oh, well, we're just gonna take the week off. We don't feel like doing it today. There's always some sort of real scheduling conflict or personal situation. Life happens and stuff like that. But we do try to make sure every Tuesday there's something out here. Of course, every once in a while we do have to skip a week. That's understandable, but it's important for us to keep this consistent. And then, we don't always have a lot of people join us live on the call, but we get a ton of people watching the recordings on our YouTube channel. So that's just as beneficial as well to be able to put that information out there, right, Ken?
100%. I mean, it's great that I don't know how many recordings, how many people watch the recordings. I mean, you've got the stats, right, on
Yeah.
how many. There's some episodes that get some pretty amazing press
Yeah,
over the
sure.
years, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
if you guys go to the YouTube page, you'll see a ton of recordings on the Tech Tip Tuesday channel. And I'm telling you that it's been a great ride. I have people that contact me all the time and say, you know what, I learned a bunch just by hanging out at Tech Tip Tuesday.
Yeah.
I'm super glad you guys are here and all the support now with the customer service and welcome, by the way, Miguel. So for the new folks.
Emmanuel is new on the
Oh,
call here.
Manual. Okay. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So buckle up because sometimes it gets a little fun here on the Tech Tip Tuesday.
Yeah, let's keep both Christian and Emmanuel busy tonight.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Well, and as Jake said, sometimes there's not a whole lot of folks that join us, but the recordings, and that the ability to jump from one topic to another within the hyperlinks on those recordings is super useful. So your team is amazing, Jake. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you. Thank you to my team. They're awesome. So.
Nice job, everybody. Well, let's see, you guys. So again, the reason Tech Tips Tuesday is here is because you join us. I mean, that's the biggest reason that we're here. We take the time, the effort, make sure that we're able to, to provide a service to y'all. So, you guys bring your questions and let's see what we can do.
Yeah. Let's
I mean,
see here.
when we don't get questions, sometimes we'll just talk about all kinds of stuff.
That's right. Yeah. So let's see what we got. I know we have some regulars here. So
Well, yeah, Lindley, thank you for being here, saying grateful for the time and the energy that we put out there. So thanks you guys for your regulars that are here. I'm sure we'll figure out something to talk about and maybe get some lessons here.
yeah, or depending on the questions that come in, maybe Christian or Emmanuel have some sort of tech tip or something that they see trending in the tickets or chats that are coming in as well that you and I can discuss here on the call, Ken. Or if Emmanuel and Christian have any questions, we'll see if we can answer them.
Right? I mean, I love the idea about getting some of those topics, the reoccurring topics that the customer service people are getting all the time, and we can, have a recording here that we can kind of say, okay, let's unpack that topic a little bit. What I've been getting a bit, Jake, is folks not really understanding a lot about the HealAdvisor. We've had some people on the show, I think even last couple of weeks, that were going, hey, I got this condition, I got that condition. How do I figure out what to do? And that HealAdvisor is just such a great tool. We've unpacked it a little bit here before, but I think
Yeah, that came up a lot last week. I know Henry and I did the call last week. But yeah, those same topics again popped up, both how the search works and also, what do you do when you do a resonance analysis also. So, we could talk a little bit about that to start the call, because I think the first thing for a lot of people is that we have HealAdvisor, the HealAdvisor app, and then we have HealAdvisor Analyze app. So, sometimes people just say HealAdvisor when, depending on which one the talking about. Of course, a lot of people call it the blue app, the HealAdvisor Analyze app, the one where you do the actual analysis. But then, as we like to call it on Tech Tip Tuesday, the other HealAdvisor app, the one where you find the search modules, the one with the wave sort of icon for the app symbol itself there too. So, you use those really completely different ways, because when you're using HealAdvisor, the one where search is, the one where you find natural cycle, those types of things, digital nutrition modules in there too, that you're not actually connecting to your device and doing an analysis or anything like that. You're basically tapping into the database. So as Ken was referring to earlier, we get a lot of questions about, okay, I need help with this topic. What programs should I run? And of course, you can go to everybody that purchases the Healy device has access to HealAdvisor search module. You might not have all the other subscriptions that live in there too, like the animal module and those types of things, bioenergetic vitalization, digital nutrition, natural cycle, but everybody has access to the search module. And you can type in which, or select which program groups you wanted to search within, or you can just pick all of them, and then when you get the results, it's a pre-populated package or pool of programs that are helpful for that particular topic. I think a couple of weeks ago we did one for eyes. We typed in eyes or something like that, and we got a lot of programs back that are helpful for that particular topic. And then you can just use this to say, okay, I want to see what's in this program pool. And then you could just open it. You'll see all the different programs that are listed in this pool. And maybe you just want to make a note of that. Okay, I want to write down these 3 of these ones that seem beneficial for me. And then, pick your own pace and manually run those, whenever you want with the Healy 2 app with microcurrent, something like that. So you can do that, or you have the option to create an IMF calendar or schedule, which is very cool. So that's always helpful, that if you have this one topic you want to work on and you want to be reminded essentially, okay, hey, Ken, it's time to run your morning IMF program. And then you'll get if you have reminders turned on, you'll get a reminder from the HealAdvisor app saying, whether you can set it to remind you on specific days at specific times. So say on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you want it to remind you early in the morning. I don't know, like 6 in the morning. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna drink some water. Go for a little bit of walk, and then I'm gonna run my first program for the day. Okay, great. And then, but maybe on Saturday you like to sleep a little bit later. You can set it to remind you at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. or something like that too. Or if you only want to run, you have some sort of event coming up in the maybe Tech Tip Tuesday, or I don't know, whatever, some sort of other event, and you're not available to, you can't, it's not a convenient time to run programs on, say, Wednesday evenings or whatever. You can uncheck Wednesday evening, so you just get reminders for Wednesday morning and Wednesday afternoon, and then from there, so it's completely customizable. You can do as much or as little as you want as far as how detailed you want to have the reminders and all that kind of stuff throughout the day. But it's cool because you can see when you're looking at the calendar, and maybe we'll put the link back in here to the great demo that you did 2 weeks ago, Ken, on this, because it was very in depth. But when you're looking at the calendar, it's cool because you can see it'll populate it for several weeks at a time. You can look out, okay, next Wednesday, you can click on the day, and it's going to show you what 3 programs or 2 programs or 1 program, depending on how many you have selected, that you should be running on that particular day. So it's and then if you want to work on this particular topic for 2 weeks, okay, great. Maybe you see some benefits, some improvements, whatever, and then you want to change to a new topic, you can just do a new search, and then go from there. But so that's one way to do this. But of course, I think, Ken, most people like to incorporate also doing a resonance analysis, right? To see which programs are most relevant for you right now, right?
Exactly. And so we're starting to get some questions here too. So there's understanding the difference between the app that's right behind my shoulder here, the wavy line, like we've been saying, HealAdvisor, and then the HealAdvisor search versus the HealAdvisor Analyze. So 2 different apps, similar name, but do different things. So again, the just understanding that the HealAdvisor search does not take into account that it is you that is searching for the information, to provide the information for you. It's just in general for the word or the condition you're trying to look for. So so 2 different ways of Healy giving you some guidance, right? So that's super powerful. And so I see a comment here from, I'm not sure because both of them are Healy tech support.
So the first comment there is from Christian, it looks like.
So yeah, so it says that people are still using the old HealAdvisor Analyze app. So this is going to you're going to run into a lot of problems when you're trying to use the old app. So there's the 2 new apps, the Healy 2 and the HealAdvisor Analyze 2, right? The number 2 tells you it's the second version. They work much better, and they are what you have to load, because now trying to interface with your Healy with the old ones, it's not going to work very good. You'll get stuck, or this won't work at all. So make sure you're going to your app store, getting these new apps, and take a look over my shoulder. You see what they look like. You can kind of see the art design, right? The design of the logo itself that's on there is a little bit different than the original. If you look at the top of the screen right here, here's the old circle with the little pink dot. And then the new one that has basically a little bit of a waveform across there with the different colors. And the blue one's the same way. Remember the blue one had a blue dot here, right?
Yeah.
So the blue one's the same way. The new blue one, it looks the same. So my point is, make sure you've got those loaded. Make sure you're logged into those apps, and make sure that, because those are going to function properly. And Lindley asked a question here about the subscription. She just got a new subscription. Awesome. The essential oils is an awesome module. So where does that show up? Anytime that you add something to your account, you've got to do an update, right? And when you log in, I guess when you not necessarily log in, but when you open the Blue app, it essentially automatically, you see that raining down kind of little video, little streaming thing. It's actually automatically updating right now, right there. So anything you've gotten as a module is going to automatically show up and populate there. But if it's something that has associated microcurrent programs for the pink app, you're going to have to make sure that that update is done in that app as well. And sometimes it doesn't automatically happen. When you first open the app, you get a little message at the top of the screen says there's an update available. You click on that update available little notice, and it'll update. If it doesn't do that, you can actually manually force that update. And that's done in the settings tab at the bottom of the screen of that app. It's that little gear at the bottom right. There's a little gear down there. You tap on that and you can go into your Healy, and next to the version, one thing you want to remember that in the menu, if there's a little arrow pointing to the side, then there's more content over there on that menu item. And that's exactly where it happens. You click on that little arrow and it'll do a little manual update. All right. So there's a couple of things that are necessary. We can even do a little demo here on the call if you want to see how that works.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. You know, the Christian made here, you know, it happens, you know, a lot of people, maybe they joined Healy in 2020 when we first launched here, and, you know, they got excited. Our support back then wasn't the greatest. We didn't have our tech support, our local tech support team. We didn't have this type of support on this call every Tuesday, or our YouTube channel, or the Healy Academy, or like any of this stuff. So a lot of people are kind of discovering, wow, like things have really improved here at Healy, and maybe they're excited again about using their device, dusting it off, taking it out of the drawer, and yeah, these things come up. Well, wait, what? How do I even use the app anymore? I can't. It says I can't. I need to download something else as well. And you know, we're of course here to help you through that. You know, our tech support team's available via live chat during, you know, regular business hours, Monday through, actually, well, most, even on weekends too, we have limited coverage also. But for those of you that have noticed, at first, all questions first are answered by Harmony, our new virtual assistant. And then if it's during business hours and Harmony wasn't able to resolve an issue, it gets transferred to one of the members of our team, and they'll be happy to assist. So we're here to help anybody, whether it's through a chat or through a ticket, get set back up as well. But yeah, yeah.
The support that we've got, so folks, a little backstory. I mean, I started with Healy in I'm kidding, in 2019, when it wasn't even, we weren't even quite open in the US yet, and so, you know, trying to get information, it was an expansion that was like a volcano, exploded like crazy. It was amazing. And so some of the support, you know, we were figuring it out. But today, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful for all the team that we've got today and the tools we have. I mean, even the Academy, folks, it's I don't know what version we're on now, but it has evolved immensely into a very amazing tool. So anyway, we have a question here from Julie about when using the Meridian module on the MagHealy, in other words, using the pink app, do you use settings 1 or 2 on the MagHealy? Okay, so we've talked about the settings on the MagHealy before, what those are. You know, you've got settings basically 1, 2, and 3. And what are they for? So essentially, 1 is kind of like the off position. You know, if it's on the charger, of course, the lights are going to come on, and it's going to be on even in that 1 position when it's on the charger. But when it's off the charger, that 1 position is essentially off. The other 2 are just essentially on positions. 1 just has, you know, the first position, number 2 position, it's just on, right? And it's, you'll see the lights come on. Position 3, now you've got the colorful lights around the outside, and depending on what programs you're using, you know, it's going to orbit around the 2 colors or the single color. If it's running 2 frequencies at the same time, you're going to get 2 colors. It's pretty cool. And remember that on position 3, it's going to take a little more power because it's running more lights. Essentially, it's drawing more from the battery. But that's kind of the idea. So you can run it on 2 or 3 when you're running it from the you know, from your app to run those programs. And that's the pink app, by the way. you've got the different modules within that pink app for running from atmosphere to water to all those different programs. Okay, so that makes sense. Position 2 or 3 is just versions of on. Okay.
And I love the Meridian module. You know, it's just the process. Of course, you know, you first go through the analysis in the Analyse app, and then you could run those programs in the Healy 2 app, as we were just discussing. But that analysis is so in depth. I mean, it's a multi-step process going through and analyzing the meridians, the acupuncture points, and all this stuff together, and the information that comes back in the analysis when you read through it is super detailed.
It takes a while for that analysis to come through, because you can watch it. It's a really cool animation of it going through your body, taking a look at all those meridians and all those checkpoints. And I mean, for say somebody that's an acupuncturist or acupressurist, that would be like amazing validation, right? I mean, to see what their practice is showing them from their perspective, and then from the analysis. I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lindley's asking basically about when you do a subscription, is it automatically taken out of your account every month? And the answer would be yes. I think who was it answered up there? That yes, it comes out automatically.
Yeah, so it's automatic. Once you subscribe, it's automatic, and then it's on the same day each month too. So if you started your subscription today on March 11th, in general, it would be the next payment would be for the next month on April 11th. So.
Yeah. So here's a question here about see, my 5-year-old Healy just won't fully charge. It's shut off at 25% max. I had a hard reset with no luck, and it runs down in just a few minutes. What else can I do? So there is essentially kind of a reset reboot sequence. In fact, if I wonder what Harmony would say if we ask Harmony, because there is a process. I've shared that many times, and we've talked about it here.
Yeah, done the hard reset. So yeah, there's a calibration process, of course, but let's see. Let me just check.
I would give this a try. So from this is a great question for Tech Tip Tuesday, and let's play with this a minute, because if you go into your shop page and just ask in the chat, because it's going to be Harmony, it's going to be the chat bot, ask the question, that my Healy will no longer charge or will no longer hold a charge, and see what it says. But we'll also share the procedure here, but I'd be really curious to see what it says. I'll bet you it's going to show that procedure. Meanwhile, let's get that procedure up. I've shared that so many times. I have a 5-year-old Healy too. In fact, I have it right here. Here's my oldest Healy I've got in the world. You can see I've got the little tab on the top. It used to have that clip on the back, but now I just have a little lanyard on it. But this is my oldest Healy. Still works great. And it's my backup. I take it with me all the time. But yeah, so I've done that reset in the past with it. It's still performing great. In fact, it's kind of turning a little I mean, I don't always handle it with clean hands, so it's a little dirty.
And so I went ahead, I did put that question here into comments. Let me share my screen. We'll just go through. Hold on a second here. Okay, so easy to get to. You just go to us.healy.shop or canada.healy.shop, and you'll see in the lower right hand corner there's a chat with us. I went ahead and clicked on that. You get the welcome message from Harmony, and I copied exactly the question from the chat here. So 5-year-old Healy won't fully charge, that's off to 23. What else can I do? So, starts off, I'm sorry, device is fine as possible. The battery's performance and calibration have degraded over time. Right, that's a normal thing for any sort of electronic device as well that is of this age here. Just think about cell phones as well too, that over time they don't charge as much. You don't get as much battery life as well. For those, one of the most common things that needs to be replaced over time is the battery there. But a couple of tips here, of course, primary charging and calibration process. Make sure it's connected to the proper type of charger using an original USB to micro USB cable. Press the power light, allow it to charge. Use it. Some of the things that you've already discussed, you mentioned in the chat. You use it till it's drained. Charge it again. Repeat that cycle 4 to 5 times to properly recalibrate the battery sensor. So that's a great tip. I know you mentioned that you've already done some of these things, and then alternate reset and charging method as well. This talks about doing the hard reset here, continue to charge till the LED indicator goes off, as far as how much time, verifying you're using a wall charger. You can try a different wall charger as well. Sometimes it's the cable itself or the wall charger if you're using the same one. It's always great to try a different one there as well. And then Harmony was asking for to provide the email address so they can follow up with more assistance. So this, again, it's after hours, so if you can continue chatting with Harmony, but if Harmony is not able to resolve the issue, it'll take your email address and it will actually create a support ticket for you, which our team will then follow up on the next business day, essentially. So this is a great starting point. Again, it doesn't solve everything. It's not meant to solve everything, but there's good support, first level type support available 24/7 now. So if it's 11 p.m. and you have an issue, and maybe this can give you a helpful tip to help you resolve that issue, you go from there. And worst case, it doesn't solve it, and then our team follows up the next day. So this is a great feature. Of course, everyone loves to chat directly with one of our team. Our team's awesome as well. But this is more about the convenience also being available 24/7. And if 100 people come to our shop all at once during a busy time of the month, everybody can get an answer right away as well. And it will resolve a good number of those too. And then our team can focus on the more complex issues as well that come in and provide a little bit more personalized service, which is the goal going forward.
You made a good point there, and so did Harmony make a good point there about the cord, about the wall adapter. You guys have all seen these little blocks, right?
Yep.
Some of those, like these little guys right here, folks, they're only 500 milliamps. A lot of these are not very much power.
Yeah.
So two things can happen. When you don't give it the Healy enough power, two things will happen. One is it could take forever. You know how the green light's supposed to go out when it's fully charged, right? Well, it may not, because it never actually gets to the full charge position. In other words, the Healy will charge up to a certain percentage and then slows down. So it could be in that phase, never actually getting to the full charge. So take a look at these charging blocks and see how the what the rating is. And it's very small letters, by the way, you guys. Very small writing on there, but somewhere on there, there's information about the voltage output and the amperage output. When we're talking about, when I'm talking about milliamps, I'm talking about the amperage output. And you can see Harmony was saying a 1 amp that's equal to 1,000 milliamps. It's the same amount, right? It's just different reading. So it's important that you look at that. And then secondly, with the older, as these Healys get older, where you plug the cord in right there inside that little port, the little charge port, it can get full of dust and dirt and debris. It can get pretty gross in there. And remember, we're talking about low voltage and low current flow, which is the amps part, meaning that it takes very little obstruction or contamination to the connections in that circuit to actually lower the amount of effectiveness of the charge. Okay, it's super important to understand that. So again, maybe a new cord sometimes. There is things that you can get for your computers to blow out like the keyboard on your computer. There's moistureless air, just spray air, and you could spray it out, to kind of try to clean it out a little bit. So just take a look in there. Sometimes you got to get, your light and take a look and see if there's obstructions in there. It's important that when it plugs in, even though when you plug it in, the app shows a little indicator it's being charged, it just means that you have a connection. Doesn't mean you've got proper power going to it. Okay. So that's important to understand. So number one, charging block. Number two, taking a look at the cord, and then taking a look at the port in your Healy. Keeping all those in clean and of highest quality and condition, it's going to help you out. All right. Let's see. What else do we have?
I think that so the Julie had a question related to the MagHealy and the McMakin setting there, or which setting to use when running the programs. Did we address this one that said I thought setting 3 was only for the McMakin dual channel program? So no, that just turned the lights on. So when you can run any programs in setting 3 with your MagHealy, all it does is turn the indicator lights on the side on. And the only difference for McMakin is that those lights will be 2 different colors when you're running the McMakin program. That's what kind of indicates the dual channel programs. But even if you have it in setting 2 where there's no lights on the side, you're still getting the same dual channel benefits there. So it's more just a visual differentiator there as far as position 2 versus position 3.
Yeah, that's a fun experiment. If you ever want to take a look at that, when you're in position 2 and you're running a non-McMakin program, you'll just get the green lights orbiting around. It's a visual, as Jake said. But then if you have it, if you put it in position 3, you're just going to get the green lights orbiting around. If you put it in position 3 and you're running the McMakin, you'll get the green and the blue. So it's just a more colorful light show. All right.
Yep.
All right.
That is always good. If you're out in some sort of public setting and you want some people to come ask you about what you got going on there, put that in position 3, and the light show might bring some people in that are interested in learning more about MagHealy or Healy frequencies, magnetic fields, whatever the case may be.
All right. Let's see. I gotta go back here. So that reset, battery reset condition, she says it did 5 cycles. Is that of the reset? I'm assuming you did that reset and that recharge process. Again, running through the whole process. So one of the tricks is actually when you plug it in, plug the Healy into a good cord and a high-powered charger, at least 1 amp or 1,000 milliamps or higher. You don't want to go too high. But when you plug it in and you hit the reset button while it's plugged in, press and hold that button while it's plugged in, and then let it fully charge. I'd be really curious to see if you have a charging block that has a rating of 1.5 amps or 1,500 milliamps. Take a look. Find a charging block that's got that rating on it. Get a really good, solid, newer cord, a newer USB cord, and plug it in. And when you plug in the Healy to the cord, the green light comes on, obviously, right? And then press and hold that button for a good 20 seconds. I'm able to see the difference in the light when it actually shifts over into that reset function. There is a slight shift, but you got to be really aware of what that looks like. And it'll have a small brilliance shift, right? That's the reset. So, but just hold it for 20 seconds and you'll be pretty much guaranteed you've hit that mark. And then let it go. Set it down and let it completely charge. And see what it just see if that light will go off. The green light will go off over time. Usually a couple of hours. If it's still not performing properly, it's possible that the battery is at its end of life. I'm not saying that's not a possibility, but I always like to rule out all other things prior to that.
Mhm. Yeah, and if you do need a replacement, you can get you can do that directly on the Healy Shop. You can go to the replacement section, and no matter which edition you purchased, if it's a professional or a residence, whatever, the replacement cost for the device is the same. So it's $365, which gets you a brand new Healy, the accessories that come with it, and a brand new 2-year warranty as well. So don't need to go spend another, $2,000 on the professional edition or anything like that.
Yeah, you're gonna when you get a new piece of hardware, remember the hardware, this device right here, is essentially the same. Well, the only difference is the obsidian, the color of the obsidian in the original edition, but the hardware is the same, functions the same, activates the apps the same. So whatever your account is, whatever you're allocated for within your account, allows the MagHealy, the Healy to activate certain things. Okay. So
And kind of show, so if you do end up, if none of the troubleshooting works and determine that it's the battery and it's 5 years old, so no longer under warranty, it's very easy to do. You don't even need to involve our support team in order to get the replacement ordered. You just go to your Healy Shop, you log in, you go to the replacements section. So if you go to shop, go to replacements, and then you'll see there's a MagHealy or Healy. If you go to Healy hardware replacement, click order now. It takes you here, and you basically you pick the serial number of the device you want to replace. So whatever Healy devices you have in your account would show up in this section. You click on the one that's broken and no longer working, click add to cart, and then it'll deactivate that device that's no longer working or no longer working optimally, and you'll get a brand new device shipped out, and everything that was any programs that were on that old one will be transferred over to the new one. It's all done. It's all automated at this point. So it's very easy to do as well.
all right. So there's let's see. There's a lot of great stuff in the chat there. Good information. By the way, guys, if you want to save the chat, you click on the 3 little dots in your chat window, and it'll say save chat. There'll be a little menu item that says save chat, and you click on that. And at the end of our call, if you're on your PC or laptop, it's going to have a box that pops up where you can save the chat. So all this content will be there in a just a text form, a document form, and you can you can use it and have reference for it. Okay.
Okay, so how should we leave off here? Thank you, Christian, for putting all these awesome tips into the chat. Yeah, as I mentioned, this is definitely one you want to save if you want any of these tips here. Ethel, thank you for the feedback here. Holding the on button, count 1,000, etc. to 21. Rest, then repeat, sometimes 3 times. Have one of the oldie like res edition. It works good as the pro. Yeah, so yeah, we got many devices 5 years old or even older and still working great. So
Yeah, just don't give up on it.
yeah.
Yeah, resets It's important.
Mhm.
Okay. My my mouse batteries are going dead, so it's a little hard to scroll here on the chat. Like, come on, the battery's just barely alive on this. Speaking of batteries,
Yeah. Yeah, Apple got it when it first arrived in the US. Nice. So yeah, it'll be 5 years in May, right? For May 1st is yeah.
May 1st, yeah. Yeah, May 1st.
Yeah.
When we first started ordering in the US, I remember I was up at 2 a.m. in the morning and ordering it because it was, I'm on the West Coast.
Yeah.
When they
You and several thousand other people at the same time.
Yeah, it was interesting. I was looking at the invoice number and it was one of the early numbers.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. 12-watt USB. So 12-watt USB 2.5 volt. Okay, so or 5.2 volt. So that's the voltage output. Let's see. I'll do a little calculation. See what the amps are.
Yeah.
Because let's see, we have so there's in the electronics field, figuring out watts and amps and voltage. You can, if you have two of the pieces of the equation, you can find out.
Nice.
Okay. That might be a little bit too hot of a charger, by the way. You really, these quick chargers, some of these quick chargers put out 4 amps, which is 4,000 milliamps. That's too much.
Right. Yeah. Okay. That's it. Just because it says quick charger on it doesn't mean it's going to charge your Healy device quicker, because the device itself has to be set up to benefit from that charging technology. And the Healy device at this time, the current version, is not quick charge enabled or anything like that.
No, so it's important, and so your comment here is that I used to fully charge on the same charger, and I hear this a lot. I hear this a lot. In fact, I even hear this a lot when it comes to the health. I work with professional athletes and I work with performance athletes, and it's like, well, I used to do this workout and it used to net me these results. The problem is, as we start to wear and tear all of the components involved in the task, and like I said, the wire, the plug-in on the Healy itself, all of that stuff over years of time, over many, many times of plugging in, disconnecting, decays the contacts. And like I mentioned before, this is fairly low power in the relativity of voltage and current. It's fairly low power. And so you can, the connections can decay to a point where the same devices, the same hardware, don't function the same together. This is why I always say try a new cord. And I mean, usually the charging blocks are fairly reliable. I've seen some that are fairly inexpensively made and they're not they're not great. So, but if you've used the same block for 5 years, I would highly recommend trying some different components there. Just give it a shot. Even though you've used it forever, it doesn't mean it's still performing the same. I guess that's my point. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, we got about 15 minutes left. While we have a minute here, I just wanted to mention that not next week, but the week after. So March 25th, we are going to do our Q1 2025 Tech Tip Tuesday celebration, along with several giveaways, not just one, not just two. Well, I think at least 3 different giveaways as well. For those of you that joined us for our 2024 year-end celebration back in December, we had a lot of fun. Gave away a lot of cool stuff, a MagHealy crossbody bag, some Healy lanyard cases as well. So we said, hey, let's not wait till the end of the year. Let's do one of these every quarter. So we're going to do our first one for 2025 on Tuesday, March 25th, same time as always, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. So we'll of course put a reminder when we get closer to that, but go ahead and pencil that in on your calendars, put it in your phone as well, because you're not going to want to miss it. Because if you want to any chance to win one of these giveaways, you're going to have to be present, and it will involve answering questions too. It's not just you show up and you're randomly going to win. For those of you that were in the December one, we asked some very unique questions about Tech Tip Tuesday as well. And we might switch it up a little bit as well, but they will be some sort of Tech Tip Tuesday or tech related trivia type questions as well. So,
I love it. We had a lot of fun last time, you guys.
yeah.
So maybe some of you guys were there, but people were winning prizes. It was great.
Yeah.
It was kind of chaotic in some cases, but just bombarded with answers.
Chaotic
Whoa!
in a good way. Yeah.
In a good way, in a good way, a really good way. So it was a lot of fun. So definitely put the word out there to your teams, to people you know, and jump on here and as Jake said, there's going to be some questions. It's relative to Tech Tip Tuesday. You're here, you might as well know a little bit about it. So
Yeah. Yeah.
right on. Okay. So Lindley was there, right? It was Lindley says
Yeah.
it was really great and a lot of fun. Good. I'm glad you were there.
I think Lindley was a winner, I believe. Yeah.
Of course, it's fun when you win, isn't it? That's the most fun.
Yeah.
All right. So make sure you guys, if you see the content in the chat that's useful, make sure you save that, because it's, you'll just basically you'll wind up with like it's just a document file. So it's just lines of text down the line of how they're presented here in the chat. And of course, if there's any links, I don't think we posted any links here, did we? Any links are in there as well.
No, and I don't think we did today. I'm not sure.
No, I don't think we had any links up there, but anyway, I think that's a super useful. There's some great content in there from our customer service guys back there.
Yeah.
All right. We got about 10 minutes. What else we got?
So we did actually we can't go an episode of Tech Tip Tuesday without going to our Healy World Learning Hub as well. So there's always, of course, every week there's new content being added to this. So we'll just check this out again for just a minute. So for those of you that haven't been on this call recently, this was originally Healy World Americas up until a couple of weeks ago. It was just mainly for our content here in this region, and we've expanded that to now we have trainings in here from the EMEA group. The APAC group is going to be joining in this as well. So you'll see content that wasn't here before, some content in other languages as well. You'll see this was one here added a day ago for this was for the new strategy for the EMEA market. This one, I believe, is in German based off the title, but of course, captions are usually available in English if you're curious. But I want to draw the attention on, of course, the Healy Shorts videos. These are awesome. Henry does an amazing job with these. If you haven't been watching any of these are all just a minute or two long, quick to go through. So you can watch all these in 10, 15 minutes here. But there is, we talked about this last time, but there's a Masterclass that's available in Europe. You see this Healy product Masterclass with Martin Wittmann. So Martin Wittmann, everyone knows Martin Wittmann. He's awesome. Our Chief Product Officer, does great trainings. If you go to the playlist and go to view full playlist, so you see we have the fundamentals of the information field. So this was a great training added 2 weeks ago in English and German. And then last week we showed that there was an aura analysis training. So the next episode of this master class, but it was only available in German. You'll see here 6 days ago, I think it was on, I guess, Wednesday. The English version of that was added too. So you can now go ahead and watch this one in English. Also, product masterclass with Martin Wittmann on the OR analysis. So now that we're kind of turning this into a global resource, we'll be able to benefit even more from some of these other trainings that are going on in different regions around the world.
The tools just keep getting better.
Yeah.
I mean, you cannot deny that. It's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to go to what I called Healy school every day. You know, with the academy and with all the different trainings that was going on, and every day you could learn something new. So, and it's still we can do it every day, learn something new. The thing about Healy, what I really love about it is that it fits everybody, right?
Mhm.
It really has something for everybody. And I say this a lot to some of my friends. It's like, if it doesn't have something for you, you don't know enough about Healy yet. That's just the way it is, because it does have something for everybody. Yeah. All right, let's see. I think we're all caught up. There is a question. Well, Julie said, any whispers in the wind on the non-cable microcurrent Healy attachment was mentioned on Frequencies and Friends.
Well, I would say nothing that can be discussed right now. I would say there's still whispers going around in the wind, but you know, certainly stay tuned over the next few months for some more information I might be able to share.
There we go.
Yeah,
Yeah, just stay tuned, right?
there's always something in development
Oh,
here at Healy World. The product roadmap for the next few years is already planned out, and if you knew what was going to be available this year, next year, and the year after, you'd be super excited.
well, we got to remember, everybody, that Healy was that the parent company of Healy is Time Waver,
Mhm.
and what's available within that world is working on being trickled down, and so many things that we get with the Healy, and that's the origination. It was the parent company is Time Waver, and now Healy came out to make it available to everybody, without the practitioner available. And man, just wait till there's a lot more that Time Waver can do. I'm excited to see what's up next.
Yeah.
There's a lot of technology out there today around signaling in general, and that's exactly what we're doing with Healy. We're signaling the body to perform in a different way, right? To express itself in a different way. Again, the supplements that are added with Healy, the elements are doing that thing in a nutrient way, signaling the body. I play with that a lot, with the signaling of the nutrients within the body, and then complementing it with microcurrent, and then even complementing even more with the coil. You should see some of the times when I'm working on me. I got a lot of things going at the same time. The body helps. It can sort it out, right? It can sort it out. The body it's an own intelligence. So I tend to give it a lot at once, and we really get a lot. I get some amazing effects. Julie's asking, any idea when New Zealand and the Pacific region will have the elements? That's
I do not have any timeline on that. I know there's lots of other things in development as far as getting elements in other regions around the world, but there's the restrictions, and this whole process, depending on where you are, can be quite lengthy as well. So it's a lot of things being worked on behind the scenes, but I don't believe there's any sort of set timeline for that at this point.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Here's another question. Any chance the HealAdvisor can once again be accessed without internet? Managing, okay, so my cursor's not working very good here. I manage all the other apps well without it. So once you've downloaded the content, so when you first open the app, remember, it needs to update itself. So it needs to have access to Not necessarily the internet, but at least data. And that could be done via your cell network. Okay, you don't necessarily have to have the internet, but you do need to have a fairly decent bandwidth of data capability with your cell network. So in other words, you can't be really out in the boonies with very, very little signal. It may not work. But you don't necessarily have to have internet. Okay. As soon as you open the Blue app or the Healy 2 app, either one, if there's an update available, it instantly does all that. And then from that point on, you don't need any more exterior connection, right? The only thing it has to do then is communicate with the Healy itself, and it's done via the Bluetooth. So that's not done with the internet, and it's not done with cell data. So you pretty much run it wherever you want. Okay. So the key is when you open the app. If you open the app and you don't have any cell network or capacity, it's gonna advise you to open that or to gain access somehow so it can update itself. Yeah, just open it and don't close it. You can go anywhere you want in the woods, underground, wherever you want to go. In a submarine, maybe, I don't know.
Comment from Julie, says, be great to have a search function in the history part of the Blue app, so the Analyze app. Yeah, I mean, any of these features, I know there is a whole set of sort of user enhancements, improvements to the user experience as well that are kind of set to be rolled out later this year in that app. But any feedback like this, I always recommend to use the send feedback feature within the app itself. So that goes right to the product development team. In that section, in the menu bar at the bottom, I believe it's the info section, either settings or info section, there's a send feedback menu there, and it'll ask you for what details basically on which feature or whatever that you're wanting to add. And that is I agree, that would be a great feature to be able to have in there, because not having to search through the different dates or scroll back or that kind of thing, just being able to use a search function or even have like a favorites function, like your favorite list or something like that from the past would be cool too. So
Absolutely. Let's see. So Sharda's having a trouble. Apparently, it's not updating. So in other words, if you're trying to open the Blue app, okay, you're opening the HealAdvisor Analyze app on your mobile device, you're opening the app. You don't have to have your Healy on yet, right? But you're opening the app and if you're logging in, you're going through the login process, and then it just sits there and it gets locked up or stuck. It's probably not getting the proper bandwidth or access to data transfer. When I say data transfer, remember that's either Wi-Fi connection or you're on your cellular network. But the mobile device itself, whether it's a tablet, an iPad, an iPhone, an Android, whatever it is, this smart device must be connected to a data resource. Okay, that's important. If you have it in even if you have it in airplane mode, it's going to try to look for a Wi-Fi.
yeah, okay, this is an interesting topic, because I've heard this before. I've never experienced this particular issue, but I closed all my apps. I put my phone in airplane mode. I turned off Wi-Fi, so it's not connecting to cellular. It's not connecting to Wi-Fi. I was able to open the app. It takes you right to the main menu, pick the resonance analysis, pick all Healy programs, connect it to my Healy device because it's just using Bluetooth between the phone and this, did an analysis, getting my results, and now I'm vibrating the program. So I'm wondering if there's something else going on here, like some sort of local phone setting that's could be preventing this, or also to be sure that you were logged in already before you did this process too. You mentioned like you're not signed out also.
Yes, yeah, that if you're signed out of the app, and you go to open the app, and then you have to do the login process, right? You have to agree to the 3
Yeah.
stipulations, the policies, procedures, that kind of thing. And then you go to the sign in part. When you put your email address in there, when you do that whole process, remember it needs to have access in that moment to Wi-Fi or something. But if you've already done all that and all you did was just maybe hard close the app, the next time you go and open the app again, it's still essentially connected. You don't have to re-log in. Yeah, I know. I mean, it sounds like there's something that's, like Jake said, a local thing with the smart device. Some setting perhaps that's not allowing access to the cell network, if that's necessary. I'd be interested in, again, try Harmony and see where, describing your scenario and see what comes up. Of course, it's going to create a ticket for you.
Yeah.
Automatically, you'll be able to get contact tomorrow. Anyway, we are at the end of our hour. I'm hoping that we gave some advice out there that was helpful and solved some mysteries. Tune in with us in a couple of weeks for that fun adventure. Tune in with us again next week if you have new questions or we didn't get it solved tonight. But for sure, let people know what's available to you out there in terms of tech support and all the tools. Just spread the word. Healy is an amazing tool, and there's more and more support being built all the time. So thanks for being here. Thank you, Jake. Thanks, customer service.
Yeah. Thanks, Christian. Thank you, Emmanuel.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week, huh?
Yep.
All right. Bye, everybody. Don't forget to click on that little save chat if you want it.